This is another one of my new pickups, and this time it's of Battlefield 2042 for the Xbox Series X. Now, I've been a Battlefield fan for many years, and I've loved the series. Some obviously better than others. For me, my history in it is that I started off with Battlefield 3 on the PlayStation 3, and I remember playing the multiplayer demo. And obviously at the time, I remember there were complaints because people were saying that the game wasn't very well textured and stuff. And eventually, but I liked what I saw. Ended up buying the game. I think I bought not a deluxe version, but a kind of a premium version of the game at no extra cost. Played the single campaign, which is what I tend to do with first person shooting ups. Always play that first, and I know for some people the multiplayer they play first, and maybe they say play the single player part or the campaign part at a different time. But I'm more of the campaign. Again, coming back off obviously being more of a call started off with Call of Duty. I expected to jump from Call of Duty to the Battlefield franchise really easy because obviously they're both first person shoot 'em ups, but then you kind of realise that they play very differently. To me, I thought Call of Duty was a little bit more kind of arcadey, whereas but the Battlefield series was kind of more kind of serious, and you had to be more tactical in the sense of what you kind of did, and especially if you got hit, you die within about 3 or 4 shots. So you had to be kind of more tactical in what you kind of did with the Battlefield games. Whereas with Call of Duty, for me, I felt like it was more kind of run and gun. And you didn't have to be. There were obviously you had the tactics and certain things that you had to do in the Call of Duty games, but I felt that those didn't necessarily translate to the Battlefield series of games. And then I played Battlefield 4, and obviously there were problems with that, and then which the game was being patched over time. Again, liked the campaign. But the only problem I had with it was that some of the problems I had with it were there were missions where you had to take out the tanks, and I always found that difficult. The multiplayer part of the game, I actually absolutely loved it. And then, but going sidetracking back onto Battlefield 3, and the same thing with Battlefield 4. What I loved about those two games is that with the multiplayer side of the games, with both games, when you obviously had to level up and get unlock certain custom parts for your gun or other weapons or things or grenades or stuff like that. I always found that with the Battlefield games that they were a lot harder. So it took a lot longer. It was a lot harder, but I found that once you kind of persevered with it, it kind of paid off in the sense that that you got the better weapons and your character would level up, and once you got to a certain level and certain perks that you would unlock, I always found that that you were kind of rewarded in a sense that it was playing against other people. It was a lot better because you unlock the better weapons and the better perks and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, I felt like you had to put in a lot of hard work in, but and you have to be kind of very patient, but it kind of paid off in the long term. But in the short term, it was very kind of grinding in terms of what you kind of had to kind of do. And then you had games like Battlefield 1, which I haven't played yet, which I really need to get around to kind of playing that game. If I remember correctly, you play as different people. Again, I think on Battlefield 1, I have played the multiplayer side of that game because I remember I think they did a beta trial where you could sit there and you could try it out, and I did actually really like it because I think it was more of a World War II setting, so that was kind of great. Then there was Battlefield, I think 5, which I haven't played yet. At the time, a couple of years ago, it was ran. I could have got it for about for £5 English, and I never bothered. I think at the time when I was getting Game Pass on a regular basis, they had those games on Game Pass, and it was one of them things where I thought to myself, right, well, since those games are on Game Pass, I don't really need to go and rush out and kind of buy them because they're available on there. But then you kind of realise that with not just with that, but with other games, that eventually they will kind of get taken off after a while, which is kind of why if there's a game that I'm unsure about or I can't afford, with stuff like Game Pass, I tend to play them on there, and then eventually when the prices drop down, whether they're brand new, when they drop down in price, or second hand, and they're at a reasonable price, I'll then purchase them and then have the physical copy just in case I want to go back and play it and it's not available on any of these subscription services. And then that leads us to Battlefield 2042. Now, what's different about this game, obviously, is this particular version is for the Xbox Series X, which I already have. This doesn't have a campaign. It's only multiplayer. Apparently, that's what they just wanted to focus on. I have played this a couple of times on Game Pass when I actually had it. I think I played it about a month ago. And again, it was kind of hard because all the rest of the players have all leveled up and they've got the best perks. But I did find it, so it was a lot harder in trying to win my matches. And the maps are kind of very big, so it's the same thing as I was saying about previous Battlefield games where you're going to have to really have to grind, and especially as this has been out for a couple of years. You're gonna have to be playing catch up to actually play the game to level up and to get the best perks and weapons possible to have a decent chance in the multiplayer mode, and then there's obviously on top of that it's where my skills on the multiplayer are very rusty. Now, one reason why I picked it up, even though that I'm more, when it comes to video games in general, I tend to play the campaigns more, and the multiplayer is I tend to is play last. I'm not putting that much effort in unless it's something I really, really like. Is that I was in my local Asda and they were selling this for £5. And normally when they put their games down to £5, regardless of which system it's on, and then I've gone up there and then I've asked, they take the empty case up there to go and pay for it. Normally they don't have it in stock. So I went up there and took the empty case up there, took it, and then I was half expecting the guy to say to me, "Oh, sorry, we don't have it," because he was going through all the different drawers of the games, obviously the physical games that they have behind the counter, and then he was going through two or three drawers, and then I was in the back of my mind, I was thinking, "Oh, great, probably not going to have it in stock." And then the guy said, "Oh, yeah, we do." Scan it up, and he goes, "Oh, you're really lucky. It's £5." So I thought, I'll buy it. At the moment, I don't have a Game Pass Ultimate or the live access, so I can't play online anyway. Now, what it tells you first of all is that the requirement is that you need internet, which I've got obviously, and an Xbox subscription, which I don't have at the moment. But as I said before, I bought it just because of the price. And the really dumb thing is that I walked into my local CEX, and they're selling both the Battlefield 2042 on both the PS5 and the Xbox for I saw for about £12, and I bought mine for £5, and it's second hand. I don't know, but yeah, so I thought to myself, I'll buy it, and then when I do get a subscription service again, I'll try and go back and try to dedicate my time in getting back into the Battlefield game, because as before, I've been a big fan of it, but of late, when it comes to the multiplayer side of games, whether it's been Battlefield or Call of Duty, I've really kind of dedicated my time in kind of playing it, whether it's to do with internet connections and other games just coming along, and I just haven't found the time to dedicate that time into kind of getting good in it. Same thing with games like FIFA, where back in the day I used to buy FIFA on a regular basis, regularly every year. And I used to sit there and dedicate my time playing the game hardcore and getting good in it, and understanding the new implements that they put into each game. But I don't kind of do that as much. Don't know if it's because I just haven't had the time or I'm just getting older. But yeah, for £5 I can't complain. They did have this for the PS5 for £5 as well, but I don't know if they had the PS5 ones in stock for £5 in my local one. But it would have been that if they never had this particular one, the Xbox Series X one, then I would have tried to see if they had the PS5 version of it. Although I do have a PS5, as most people already know, I wanted to go more for the Xbox one, simply because of the fact that at the time I find it cheaper to get to find the Xbox subscriptions packages where it's for a month I tend to find that a lot cheaper to find if I'm looking around. At the moment, whether it's on eBay or CD keys, whereas if you want to buy the PlayStation Plus to play it online, it's always just to get one for a month. It's always $6.99. I can never find it like really cheap. So that's the reason why I went for the Xbox One, because normally when I wait around and I look on eBay and and I get the codes, and I do have two Xbox Game Pass Ultimate codes still left, but I just haven't used them yet. I tend to find that when I'm looking around eBay, I get the digital code. I tend to find that I can get them really, really cheap, whether it's on eBay or as I said, CD keys. So this is the reason why I went for this version of it. I do know that I think there were a lot of complaints because people were unhappy that the campaign was kind of missing, and then obviously having the campaign missing, they would focus more on the multiplayer. And I know that they've, over the months, and I don't know, I think that must be over more than a year, that they've also been patching the game. So compared to how it was in the beginning to how it was now, it's probably a lot different. As I said, when I had Game Pass over a month ago, I did try it. I did had a couple of goals in it and actually did like it. So, but the only thing is, as I said before, is that my TV is still 1080p, and obviously this is a 4K. Ultra HD, so you would get the real benefits from playing this on a 4K TV, which I hope to do in the future. Fingers crossed if things work out. But that's enough of me rambling. As well, this is the Xbox Series X version of it. I do think there's an Xbox One version of it, I think, that is available. Probably the same price, which is a bit cheeky. It says here at the back, enter the next era of Battlefield, all-out warfare, fight in massive 128 player battles with total combat freedom. Wow, 128 players. That's a lot. Intense hazard zone. Engage in a tense squad focused survival experience. What does it say here? No, sorry. It meant to say Battlefield Hazard Zone and Battlefield Portal. Change the rules of war and discover the unexpected battles. The requirements, as it says on here, it says here, optimized for the Xbox Series X, which is great to see. 60 frames per second. Again, that's great. 4K Ultra HD, HDR10. Online co-op 2 to 4 players. Online multiplayer 16 to 128. Fantastic. And it's also a cross-platform play. So regardless of whether or not you've bought the game on Xbox One, Series X, PS5, PS4, or even on your PC, you can all play together, which is kind of great. And I've always one of the things when it comes to first-person shooters, whether it's been Call of Duty or Battlefield, I've always now I never thought I would see the day that regardless of what system that you own, that you'll be able to play against other people on different platforms. So that kind of opens it up when it comes to finding matches. So hopefully this continues. I do know that on the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that was didn't have a campaign, which is why I think I never bought it. And that again was just the multiplayer. I don't know how successful that was from them taking it out. And then obviously after that, the next games that they released in the Call of Duty series, they decided obviously to put back the campaign back in there again. With the next Battlefield, I mean, who knows whether or not they'll put back the campaign back inside the game again. I'm assuming that that's what they're going to do, to put that back. So, hopefully, I mean, they do, because as I said before, I was a big fan of the Call of Duty campaigns, and as I said before, I need to catch up on my Call of Duty games and my Call of Duty games too. So without further ado, we'll open this up. I mean, I remember back in the day in some of these multiplayer games where they would give you like a 2-week trial, or even a 7-day trial, to actually play the multiplayer, right? But to try it out. But that seems to be very rare that they seem to do that anymore now. And it's kind of expensive when you already have to pay your online bill for your internet, and then you still got to pay a subscription service, and they've been raising the cost of them, especially they've got different tiers, especially on PlayStation now, so it can be rather expensive. So we can open this up. I will take this off. You know what? One thing I've liked about the Xbox games and their packaging. So I like their this fluorescent green that they kind of use, and they always seem to put what's it called again? Their the disc on the left hand side. Apparently it says if you get EA Play, you can get more at Battlefield 42. I do know. I don't know if this is gonna be. I don't know if this is on the Xbox course, but I do know this is on the PlayStation. That apparently that you can get a 1 month EA Play for 79p. I know that on the PS PlayStation, it runs out on the 31st of March. So you've only got 6 days. So it's only 79p. And then what you can do is that you can turn off your reoccurring bills, so you only pay 79p. So you get access to the EA games. Now again, I don't know if this is on the PlayStation, because when I got it, because 79p on the Xbox, it wasn't like that on the PlayStation. So when I upload this, I'll put this in the description whether or not the Xbox has got this as well. And it says here, secure member-only benefits. Members get exclusive rewards every month. Save with your membership discount. Get 10% off your purchases of EA digital content, including Battlefield 2042 Year 1 Pass. Also, try new EA titles first. Play select new releases for up to 10 hours before they launch. I did that with The Need for Speed Bound. You get 10 hours, and also with FIFA 23 as well. And they've done it with the NFL? That hockey game. And they've also done 23, and also with Madden 23 as well. So you get 10 hours in that. So that's kind of really great that they kind of do that. And it says they enjoy a library of top titles. Get unlimited access to a collection of our best loved games, including Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, and many more. So there's nothing there. As you can see, that's just remove this cover sheet for important game safety information. So there's kind of nothing there. It's probably to do flashing. Nothing there, so people who have epilepsy and stuff like that, or playing the games for too long. As you can see there, there's kind of nothing much. It's not online. There's no instructions anymore. But you do have here information to get online support, Twitter and Facebook support. So that's all there, and all the links are available on there. So that's kind of great. Again, I missed the days of having instructions, but I guess that's the safe paper and stuff. But yeah, we'll put this back in, but put this back in like so. But yeah, this is Battlefield 2042 for the Xbox Series X. And again, as I said, paid £5 for it. So I'm kind of totally happy about that. So that's another to add to my collection. Now I just need to try and find them Battlefield 5 really cheap, and then start catching up on my Battlefield games. Anyway, I hope people found this video informative. Please feel free to share and to like with your friends and family. Also, if you can give the videos a thumbs up, that would be a big help, and it only takes a millisecond, because that will help people find my YouTube channel and my content. Because of the YouTube algorithms only favour the seem to advertise the bigger YouTubers, and also our smaller YouTubers don't kind of get the same kind of advertisement, so to speak. So that does help. Also, if you want, let me know what your favourite Battlefield game is, if you're a fan of it, and if you aren't, why you aren't, if you want to. Also, if you aren't subscribed to my channel, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I'll speak to you all again soon. So wherever you're in the world, please stay safe, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.